Okay, so hi everyone, welcome along. Thank you for joining this session on apprenticeships at the Project Futures Festival. For those I've not had the chance to meet or can't see on my screen, I'm Kate Drury. I'm one of the project managers at the Corporate Portfolio Office in Health Education England and working on the Project Futures, NHS Project Futures. This session is to let you know about the apprenticeships that we are launching as part of Apprenticeship Week this week. And as Joe was just saying, kind of coincides with the launch of the NHS Project and Change Capability Framework. So we're really excited about this. And this is just kind of a quick introduction. So in this session, we're going to have pictures from each of our providers, and you can then go ask them more questions on the festival website. Jenny, who is one of our regional leads and relationship managers for apprenticeships, is going to do a bit of myth busting on apprenticeships, and then hopefully we're going to have plenty of time for questions at the end for people just to find out a bit more. So the very top level, some people will have heard about this. We've been talking about this for the last few months and run a few webinars, had an expressions of interest survey open, but if you haven't yet heard about it, we are launching 4 apprenticeships that will be NHS wide, so anyone working in the NHS can apply to these. We've got a level 4 project data analyst, a level 4 associate project manager, a level 6 project manager, and the level 7 systems thinking practitioner, which is a new standard. We've run a procurement process, and from that we've selected 7 preferred apprenticeship providers who are all on the call today and are all going to pitch for you. And any employers within the NHS can then call off of that procurement and get apprentices onto these programmes. And as NHS Project Futures, we'll be looking to provide support to all those apprentices. So creating a network of apprentices, offering coaching and mentoring, action learning sets, virtual learning space, things like that. So to really, rather than everyone being disjointed, everyone's going to be brought together into kind of cohorts, no matter which provider you're with and which organisation you're with. So you get all that shared learning. So we're really excited about this. I see Mike's with us. Mike, you've probably missed what I've just said, but I've just done a brief intro. Is there anything you want to add, or should we dive straight into the pictures?
Just to say I'm how pleased and how happy I feel about the fact that we're launching these today. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits. And everyone in the team and everyone on the call, particularly providers, and Lucy and Jenny have worked incredibly hard to get to this point. So it's a really, just to kick that off and start the process. So yeah, really pleased to be part of this. And so I'll just hand back to you, Kate.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to go now. These are the providers that we've selected through this procurement. And we're going to give each of them 2 minutes, which is incredibly mean of us. But these slides will be shared afterwards, and they're all on the exhibitor space of the festival site, so you can go and ask them questions. But we're just giving them 2 minutes each to tell you what kind of their offer is. So we are going to start with Cambridge Spark, and I think we have Helen to chat to us.
Hi, yeah, so lovely to meet you all. So I'm going to go through a little bit about Cambridge Spark. So I think, Kate, you've got some of the slides up, so that's great. So we're a specialist AI and data scientist provider, and one of the only training providers of the AI data scientist standard. Our training programs are built on our AI-powered platform, so that's called Kate. And what's really exciting about that is that we're working with NHS Project Futures to give NHS workers the opportunity to take part in our Project Data Analyst Level 4 apprenticeship. So if we move on to the next slide, I would encourage all of you who are interested in the Data Analyst Level 4 apprenticeship to email me. So that's helen@cambridgespark.com. And all that information is in the NHS Project Futures Exhibitor Area 2. But just a short overview of the programme. So our Data Analyst Level 4 apprenticeship will equip you with the technical skills set to extract, manipulate and visualise data. It's 14 months long in total. You'll complete real-world simulated projects on a platform called Kate. It's instant feedback, so it's 24/7, cloud-based, flexible learning, and it's applied practical experience, which is all virtual. And all of our teachers and coaches have PhDs from the UK's best universities and backgrounds in well-renowned machine learning organisations such as Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. And finally, just moving on to the next slide. Thank you, Kate. So just really quickly, another exciting piece is our Educate.ai platform. So it's all about hands-on experience and practice. And this is our own platform, which we developed with funding from the government's innovation agency, Innovate UK. So for those who are interested in doing the apprenticeship, I can give you some demo logins. But what's great about this platform is it allows learners to input code and get real-time response in terms of that code, if it's correct or not. So it's much more friendlier compared to kind of sending to a lecturer and waiting for feedback. So if you are interested, feel free to drop me an email or go onto the exhibitor page at NHS Project Futures. But I look forward to speaking to you all soon.
Thank you, Helen. Perfect. Under time, so you're in the good books, and also great choice of name for the learning platform, I would say. So thank you. So that was Cambridge Spark for the data analyst. We've also got Projecting Success as an alternative provider for the data analyst level 4 apprenticeship. Do we have Martin or someone from Projecting Success on the call? Or is it Yoshi? You're on mute, Yoshi, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, so we're part of the data analyst level 4 standard as well. And yeah, we have a deep passion to make a difference, really. Next slide, please, Kate. So we saw a need to kind of the need to work collaboratively to how we can transform how organizations leverage project data to drive up project delivery performance. So as part of our aims, it's to demonstrate the art of the possible, inspire and provide a vision for an achievable future. So we're all about upskilling project professionals to nurture and support the development of project analytics talent to develop a new cadre of professionals. Yeah. So our team is formed of Martin Paver, James Smith, Ben Morris and Vicky Emerson. So Martin's the co-chair of the PDA task force and he's led numerous projects. James Smith, as a PhD in applied maths, is a lead tutor, alongside with Ben is a full stack developer, and Vicky has been our lead for quite a while now. So our big idea, taken from McKinsey, they had an idea of a pie-shaped person. So our team are looking to develop project professionals into having one leg in project delivery and another leg in data analytics. Yep, and how you position yourself kind of depends on whether you want to be more of a translator or more of a specialist practitioner, but we can help kind of hone and guide you throughout these different sort of career paths. Yep, so the commitments have a 20% off the job training. So we have 2-week intensives at the start of the apprenticeship, and this is supplemented through hackathons and meetups, which I'll touch more on in a second. Yeah, so what makes us unique as a provider? So we have the meetups and Project Hack 8. So a lot of what we do in terms of our apprenticeship is kind of built around the community. So you have opportunities to work on kind of real world projects set by various organizations to kind of apply what you've learned through the apprenticeship. And these are also supplemented through the meetup where industry case studies are shown how it's been applied in the real world. And I think that's about time. And their accolades.
Perfect. Thank you, Yoshi. That was great. So that's Projecting Success, who are also offering the Project Data Analyst Level 4 apprenticeship. Oh, there was an extra slide there. Sorry. Okay, so we'll move on to Provec, who are offering the Associate Project Manager Level 4. And I think we've got Glenn to tell you about this.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, if you could go on to the first slide, please. Oh, and the next one. Thank you. Yeah, briefly, just about Provec as a company. We're a project management training specialist, so we offer consultancy, skills assessments and training to many organisations. We've been established well over 25 years now, and we are also a member of the ERG group that created the Level 4 Associate Project Manager Standard and still an active member. Provec's company ethos is really based around quality. All of our trainers are real-world experienced project and programme managers, which we feel brings a level of credibility and enjoyment for the learners. We've got a proven track record in delivering the apprenticeship. We've been delivering it since September 2018. We've enrolled over 700 learners. 220 have completed the programme so far, and we've had a 99% success rate with 81% achieving merits and distinctions. You can click the next slide, please. That's it. We deliver across multiple sectors, not least including already Guy's and St Thomas NHS Foundation Trust are in discussions to start a second programme in June this year. Next slide, please, Kate. The programme itself is designed to develop and nurture well-rounded project managers. So it's a 13-month programme. It involves 9 days of group workshops. We have one-to-one coaching, which we purposely schedule between the workshops, so learners get a regular touch point every 3 weeks with their trainer. It also involves obviously self-study each week and obviously on-the-job applied learning, which really makes a difference to embed the learning. Next slide, please, Kate. Key benefits and USPs of our programme. Ultimately, this is suitable for anyone who manages projects within their role. We do a full screening process to make sure every candidate is suitable as well as eligible. The programme itself is very flexible, so we can offer public cohorts for individuals or closed cohorts for specific business areas. And again, it's a mix of virtual face-to-face delivery. We can tailor the programme to invite subject matter experts to come along and talk about key subjects, and we do a full managed service with you too. And lastly, the programme itself is a good opportunity to move on to charter status or even fast track to University of Cumbria's level 2 degree apprenticeship. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you, Glenn. So that was Provec, who are offering the level 4 associate project manager. The next is the level 6 project manager, which is Coventry University. We have David on the call, but it's actually pre-recorded a video with his slides. So I'm just going to share that, but I'll just make sure I've got my sound on so you can hear it. So this is Coventry University.
Hello, my name's David Ellis and I'm course director of Coventry University. Level 6 project manager integrated degree apprenticeship. Just to give you an idea of the programme, projects and programmes are all about delivering change, and that change doesn't take place in a vacuum. So as well as teaching the core project management skills and techniques, we also have modules on organisational behaviour, on the external organisational environment, on managing change at an organisational level, and on business analytics. Another key skill of a project manager is soft skills, communication skills, and we help students develop these through each year of the programme with group work, with role plays, and with activities in our simulation suite. Now, the academics that teach on the programme, many have industry and commercial experience, and we have a wide network of guest speakers that we can invite. In terms of assessment, most of the assessment is coursework, either applying theory to a case study or reflecting perhaps on a particular aspect of project management within your workplace and organisation. We can offer face-to-face delivery, online delivery, or blended. It might be a day a week, it might be in block format. All of our students use our social e-learning platform called Aula. And that's a place where teaching materials are stored. We can hold recorded lectures there for reference. Hold interactive seminars if we're delivering online, drop-in sessions. But the most powerful area, I think, is the asynchronous discussion area where students can support each other with their learning. Last year, Coventry University was the only UK university to receive a 5-star award from QS for the quality of our online learning environment. Why Coventry? Well, we've been the University of the Year for Student Experience for a number of years. We have a gold award for teaching excellence, the quality of our teaching and learning, and we're accustomed to tailoring our delivery to suit a wide range of corporate and public sector clients. Hello. Hello.
Okay, there we are. Don't want to listen to that 3 times, but thanks, David. And Coventry University, so that was for the project manager level 6, and then also for the project manager level 6, we have the University of Cumbria, and I think Steve's going to talk to us about that one.
When I switch off mute. Thanks everybody. Good afternoon. Afternoon yet, just on. My name's Steve Wood. I'm the Employer Engagement Manager at the University of Cumbria. I'm going to talk to you about the Project Manager Degree Apprenticeship with Integrated Mary Seacole Programme, which is our offer. Thanks, Kate. Just very briefly, an overview of the university's relationship with project management. It's delivered through our University of Cumbria Project Academy. The Project Academy specialises in a range of different courses from higher education through to apprenticeships through to CPD courses. We've been operating 5 years. We've had 500 HE students through our programmes and had 5,000 attendees on our various different CPD and apprenticeship type programmes. At the moment, we have over 300 students who are all working. In terms of the team, very experienced with a range of backgrounds. So we have a team of 10 plus a team of associates. We were the first UK higher education institution to be approved for the EPA, and our approach is about experiential learning. So it's learning in reflection and doing. Thanks, Kate. Okay, as you can see from the overview of the programme, it's a very broad programme. What learners will get is the degree apprenticeship with a BSc in project management from the University of Cumbria, also the APM PMQ qualification and the eligibility to apply for membership of the Association for Project Management. I won't go through every one now because we'll go through in a bit more detail the course structure. Thanks, Kate. Okay, so what we're looking to do is to get people to understand the course, obviously. Topics are revisited and challenged, so as you become more experienced, the challenge becomes greater. Our delivery is online, so we have a national reach. We deliver both open and closed cohorts. We have entry points at level 4 and at level 5. As Glenn said earlier on, we have an agreement with Provex, so anybody who does the level 4 project manager apprenticeship can come through to our level 5. We have integrated Mary Seacole on the programme. Okay, thanks a lot. These are the modules at level 4. As you can see, those modules there plus the APM we do at the end of level 4. Next, please, Kate. Level 5, obviously have these 4 modules with that professional development review running right the way across. Next one. Level 6, obviously culminating in the Gateway and EPA. Thanks, Kate. I'm conscious of time, so we're screaming on. Mary Seacole program, which is unique, developed by the Leadership Academy and delivered by the University of Cumbria. It's an addition, and learners who decide to go down that route will also receive the NHS Leadership Academy Award in Healthcare Leadership. Thanks, Kate. And the delivery style. Okay, broken down into small chunks, make sure it's sociable, it's synchronous online face-to-face, so the learning experience is as close to you would get if you were in a classroom. Thanks, Kate. These are our online tools for delivery: Blackboard, PebblePad, OneSearch, and of course App10, which is the apprenticeship application program. And that learner experience is as positive as one as we can possibly do. Okay, thanks a lot. And any questions?
Thank you, Steve. These slides will be available to everyone afterwards, so I appreciate we're kind of galloping through these, but we'll share these around afterwards. So thank you, Steve. So that was our level 6. We have Coventry University and University of Cumbria for the level 6 project manager, and then we have 2 providers for the level 7 systems thinking practitioner. So first up, we have the JGA group, which I think Richard is going to talk to us.
I'm here and I'm off mute. Thank
Perfect.
you. So if you can flick on. I'm admiring everybody else getting through so many slides. I basically thought I'd get through 1 slide in 2 minutes. So we're the JGA group. We've been an apprenticeship training provider for around 30 years. We specialise in working with up-and-coming professions to help professionalise them. So if somebody's walking down the road and they say, "What do you do?" They say, "I'm a systems thinker professional," or "I'm a systems leadership professional," and that's what we're all about. Can you flick over, please? Okay, so the level 7 systems leadership for complex project management in health and care is more than just learning. It's even more about than applying, because it's at level 7. It's giving you the facility to actually choose which is the appropriate tool for any given problem, and then to apply that, and then to get the results, and then to deal with the change that results from that. It's about your the way you influence and communicate, and you actually drive the organization forward instead of getting stuck in a morass of complex systems and unable to make those changes. It's based on the system thinking practitioner standard, which is master's level. And it brings together professional expertise from SIO, who are the Systems and Complexity in Organizations Community of Practice. They're a merger of various organizations over time, and it's the leading systems thinkers, not only in the country, but essentially in the world, and there are chapters overseas as well. The people leading the program do the job. They don't just talk the job or teach the job, and they are spending most of their time actually being systems thinkers and working in large organizations, including the NHS. For ourselves, I appreciate we're not a university, people haven't heard of us. If it gives you some confidence, Ofsted like us, and we've just recently, last week, won the West London Business Awards Education Training Provider of the Year, and one of our apprentices won Apprentice of the Year as well. And last year we were the BAME Apprenticeship Awards Training Provider of the Year. If you just flick to the last slide, please. The core content, which I won't run through because you can get the slides afterwards, or there's more detailed sheets available, but essentially that is the content of the program. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Richard. So that was the JGA group who are offering the Level 7 Systems Thinking Practitioner. And then last but not least, Eamon will be glad that we've stuck to time. We've got the University of Bedfordshire who are also offering the Systems Thinking Practitioner. Eamon, over to you. You're on mute, sorry.
John Rogers delivering the first few slides, Kate.
Okay, sorry, John.
That's okay. That's all fine. I'm very happy for Amy to introduce us. I should say a bit about me. I was the chair of the Trailblazer Committee that created the apprenticeship. And then for the last few months, I've been part of the SIO team, so the Systems and Complexity in Organisations team, working on apprenticeship delivery. So that's a little bit about me and gives you a bit of background. If you could move on now, please, Kate. I spent more than a decade working in large complex systems when I worked for Wiltshire Council and part of the Wiltshire system. And I can see really clearly how systems thinking fits into the NHS, where you're headed in the future. This is the skill set for example, the world of integrated care systems. This is the apprenticeship that will provide those essential skills and knowledge when you're looking to develop really high performing systems from the collective rather than simply from the parts. And this practitioner apprenticeship is a unique, and unquestionably a strategic capability for the NHS. So hats off to you guys. You're really going for it, and that's brilliant. If we move on to the next slide, I want to talk a little bit about what kinds of people will find themselves feeling at home in this environment. You are probably, this is not exclusive, but you're probably developing as a change leader and or aiming for director level roles. This is suitable. This apprenticeship is suitable for both kinds of people, if you like. And if that's you, then that's a good start. The kinds of people who are happy, open and curious, engaged and independent, with an interesting balance. You're intrigued by complexity. You're undeterred by messiness. You're comfortable with ambiguity. If you're also relational and analytical and creative and reflective, which is, let's say, quite an interesting mix, your head is already in the right kind of place. And then the apprenticeship is really entirely geared to being practical, grounded, useful, and it's led by, as Richard commented earlier, people who are leading experts with long experience of delivering this stuff in practice. I think I better stop there. I'm almost certainly running out of time. Eamon, over to you.
Next slide, please, Kate. Just a bit about the University of Bedfordshire. We have an excellent record. Fundamental part of our mission is to work with the NHS. We have 10 apprenticeship contracts currently with NHS trusts. We will be collaborating with John and his colleagues to bring in that expertise on systems thinking. We're QAA regulated, which gives that assurance of high quality. And we have a number of postgraduate level apprenticeships already running. These are our clients. I just wanted, they speak more eloquently than I can. So the likes of Bank of England, BMW, Lotus, Tesco, Atomic Energy Authority, Urenco, Oxford University, we're very pleased to have, and Cranfield University as well. And next slide, please, Kate. Finally, just to say, we'll be at the exhibition space. We've got a fact sheet there waiting to tell you about what we do. And those are email addresses for anyone who wants to get in touch to learn more. Thank you, Kate. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you, Eamon and John. So that was the University of Bedfordshire who are offering the Level 7 in Systems Thinking Practitioner. So thank you to all our providers. I know that was quite a challenge saying everything you want to in 2 minutes, but there are 7 providers. They're all at the exhibition space on the festival website, so you can go speak to them. We will be sharing a recording of this session and we'll be sharing these slides, so don't worry. But now I'm going to hand over to Jenny Stone, who's going to talk about some apprenticeship myths and busting them. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Kate. Thank you. I've noticed some of the questions in the chat, so hopefully my presentation might answer some of those, but please do put questions in the chat and we can pick it up after in the question and answer session. So as Kate said, I'm Jenny Stone. I am the Talent for Care Relationship Manager for Apprenticeships in Health Education England, covering the London region. Okay, so what is an apprenticeship? Probably should have done this slide before all of our colleagues gave you a big run through of what they offer, but it is a programme to develop knowledge and skills, combination of theory, knowledge, competence-based assessments, at the end nationally accredited qualification, It's a mixture of on-the-job and off-the-job training. So some of the presentations included 20% off the job being said. That is a requirement of the apprenticeship. 20% is a minimum off-the-job requirement. And when we say on the job and off the job, actually, that they're one of the same thing. You do tend to do a lot of your off the job while you're still in work. Sometimes you'll go off to the university for 1 day a week. Depends on the program and the training provider. It has to be related to your job role. So this is really important. So it's not something that if you just, quite fancy doing systems thinking because it interests you, it does have to be related to the job that you do to be able to do the apprenticeship. The apprenticeship is paid for via the apprenticeship levy from your organisation that employs you. So most large organisations pay an apprenticeship levy, which is a tax. And if the employer you work for don't pay the apprenticeship levy, transfers can be put in place. The apprenticeship levy, it's important to say, only pays for the training and the assessment of the apprenticeship. It doesn't pay for any salary or any backfill or anything like that. So it does pay for the training of the apprenticeship out of the levy. Next slide. Okay, so I'm just going to go through some myths and I'm going to add one actually from one of the early questions that came up and I answered. Someone asked a really valid question actually, and I've missed it off my list of myths. And that's around the fact that people do get confused with NHS banding for agenda for change banding pay bands, and they sort of try and match them with the level of apprenticeships. So you've heard just now about the level 4, the level 6 and the level 7 that's part of this project. That does not equate to a band 4, a band 7 or a band 6 at all. So you can be a band 8 or even a band 4 and do a level 7 or a level 6. It just has to match your job role. So just to run through some of these, the apprenticeships, these are myths. So people seem to think, apprenticeships are only for plumbers and hairdressers. That's absolutely not true. As you've just heard, all of these apprenticeships are available. Apprenticeships are for people who aren't academic. That again is not true at all. So we try and squash that myth. Apprenticeships can't be offered to existing employees. They can be, most of our apprenticeships in the NHS are existing employees on development programs. I would say 50% of new apprentices coming into the NHS, but also it is for existing employees. Apprenticeships don't lead to jobs, of course they do. And the opportunity to apply for a job after completing your apprenticeship is always an option. That could be internal or external, but hopefully still within the NHS. Apprentices make tea. A lot of people have this perception that apprentices are just sort of the tea boy girl. Absolutely not. Apprenticeships are only for entry level roles, as you've just heard through the presentations. These are not entry, potentially entry level roles. So it's for absolutely anybody in senior management, all the way through. I'm already too qualified is another one that we get quite a lot. And some people, you can do an apprenticeship if you already hold a degree or even a master's. It doesn't matter, but the apprenticeship does have to be fundamentally different to the qualification you already hold. So that is something that will be looked at when you are applying and coincide with the entry criteria for the apprenticeship. Next slide. Thank you. NHS apprenticeships are only clinical. We hear this quite a lot, because you do hear a lot on the news and out and about, nursing, midwifery, and so on, and physio and OT, but absolutely not. It is for non-clinical staff, and obviously these ones are for non-clinical roles. Well, that's not strictly true. Somebody who is clinical could also complete these, but these are what would come under the umbrella of non-clinical rather than being a nurse or a midwife. I didn't get good GCSE, so I can't apply. Absolutely not an issue. Some entry criteria will say you need, and most of the ones that we've gone through today will say GCSE, A to C in English and maths. However, if you don't have those, Health Education England do offer support for people to get up to that level to be able to get onto these apprenticeships. I'm too old. Apprenticeships are only for young people. Absolutely not. We've got apprentices in the NHS in people in their 60s. I think I've heard the eldest is in their 70s or even 80s. So absolutely not true. Years ago, you could only do an apprenticeship if you was under 21, but obviously that's now all changed and it is open to everybody from the age of 16 with no upper limit. Degree apprenticeships are lower quality than degrees, and people think that the qualification they receive won't be the same as if you were to study on the traditional route. Again, absolutely not true. You will get the same qualification at the end, whether or not you do it by the apprenticeship route or the traditional route. Apprenticeships don't offer job security. Again, with these ones, it tends to be that you might be doing it as part of your development in your role. So you would already be in your job doing the apprenticeship as a development opportunity. So you would keep your job and then you would stay, obviously continue in that post. You would stay at the same pay band unless you were to leave your current role and go into a different role. Then obviously that's slightly different because you're moving out of that role into a different banding or different terms and conditions for that role. Apprenticeships are only for school leavers. Again, we hear that quite a lot. Absolutely not true anymore. And the last one I'm finishing on is that I can't do an apprenticeship because I work full-time, so I don't have time, or secondly, I work part-time. So apprenticeships are available to everybody that works either full-time or part-time. If you work part-time, the apprenticeship has to be lengthened over time to allow you to be able to do your work and 20% off the job as the minimum. And if you work full-time, which most apprenticeships do, but as I say, it is open to part-time apprentices as well. You would have to have agreement from your line manager to be able to do that as part of your full-time role, as you would be doing 20% off the job as part of the apprenticeship. I feel like I've whizzed through and spoke really quickly. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that Health Education England have a Talent for Care team, which I'm part of, and we are here to support you with everything in terms of apprenticeships. We have our national programme managers, Jane Hadfield, Lucy Hunt and Kirsty Marsh-Hyde. And then you'll see here the whole list of myself and my colleagues across the country. So there are 7 of us across England, and that they are our contact details for the various regions of Health Education England. So please do contact us if you have any questions. I also urge you to contact your internal apprenticeship lead. Every NHS trust has an apprenticeship lead within normally the education team or the OD team or HR. Find out who they are, ask them, and if they aren't sure about this project or that you're not sure who your apprenticeship lead is, please contact your relevant apprenticeship relationship manager listed above, and we will know exactly who to go to and make those introductions for you. Don't feel embarrassed about it. You know, I've worked in the NHS a long time and trusts with thousands and thousands of people. You don't quite know who the right person is to contact, but we will know. So by all means, reach out, contact us, and we will help you. Thanks, Kate.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jenny. So that's most of what we were going to cover. We've got about 10 minutes left for questions and answers. I was just going to give you all a few next steps, and then if Mike or Jay want to jump in and say anything else, but you can read the employer guide and summary. They are on the agenda session page of the festival website where you join this session from. So there's an employer guide and summary. There's also an expression of interest form there, and we will be working with the providers over the next few weeks to kind of move people who've expressed interest forward in the process and getting them actually onto these programs. So make sure you fill in that form if you're interested, and we'll be in touch. And also all the education providers are on the exhibitor page of the festival website. So please go find out more, chat to them, ask questions. And as Jenny's just said, if you have any other questions, you can contact either the HEE Talent for Care relationship managers for your region or your apprenticeship lead, or you can contact us at NHS Project Futures and we will help point you in the right direction. So Mike or Joe, if you've anything to add, please do. Otherwise, we'll open it up for questions either to the providers or to the Project Futures team or to Jenny and her colleagues.
Hi, I just wanted to say that was fantastic. Thank you very much for the quick insight from everybody, and also to say get your hands up if you want to ask a specific question to a specific provider. We've been trying to answer as many questions as we can in the chat as we've gone along. It's really important that you know, that it's not just about people wanting to do it because they're interested. It's about getting your employer engaged and your managers engaged. So have a conversation with the provider, see what's involved, make sure it's a match, and then have that conversation with your organisation to sort of then look at how we take that process forward. Mike, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, just reading through the chat, Joe. I think everyone's coming at this from sort of different starting points. Those that have already made a decision for themselves that they want to take this on, and others that aren't quite sure what the entry level is. So there are people out there that have got the answers, as you've seen from Jenny's presentation earlier. They are the experts, and they can put you in touch with people that can help you make an informed decision and an informed choice. These are the top providers as part of that offer. We went through a big procurement process to get the best that's available for each of these 4 apprenticeships. So yeah, and the slide deck that Kate shared will be made available, and exhibitors and providers are available through the festival link, so you can visit them at any time, and the contact details are there for them. Thank you.
So we haven't actually got any hands up at the moment. Does anybody have a question?
There's a question in the chat. Sorry, it might have got missing because I've just posted lots of links and also the contact details for all the relationship managers. But Alina has a question about can she swap programs? So I was wondering if Lucy.
Yeah, I just replied to that.
Just replied.
No, I mean, you wouldn't have to complete the original program, but you would need to talk to your internal apprenticeship lead in terms of double funding, because they would need to stop you on that original program. I don't think you'd be able to APL anything onto it, but again, have that conversation with your apprenticeship lead and your chosen provider, and they'll be able to work out what's best for you.
Excellent, thank you, Lucy.
Just to say, I mentioned at the start of the chat, but some people might have missed that. We're planning on doing a webinar with each of the providers so that everybody who's interested in finding out more about that specific program can hear all about it in detail. We have a couple of them that we've done already. So if you go to the YouTube channel, the link's in the chat. There is a recording of the 2 we've done so far, which was with Cumbria and with Projecting Success. Once we've got dates arranged for the webinars with the other providers, we will send those out to everybody. But also, what would be really helpful is if you can complete the expressions of interest questionnaire, and we will be encouraging both the apprenticeship leads and organisations to get people to complete the expressions of interest questionnaire in relation to the programs, because we have a long list of people who are already interested. We're going to start with those people, make sure that there's an opportunity for them to be applying for the first cohort. So if you haven't filled that in yet, I'm sure we can put the link in the chat. And then if you can do that, we will also send out details of the dates that we were putting these webinars on to the people who've expressed interest, but we'll also be sending them out through the apprenticeship leads, through Jenny and colleagues, and also through the project delivery community of practice. So if you haven't registered for that, please do, because that's how we will be spreading that forward information and giving you access to further opportunities to get involved and find out more. So anybody else wanted to add anything, or any other questions come up that you think would be of interest to answer? Well, that's astonishing, isn't it? we've not only got through everything, we've actually finished slightly early.
I think that was an information overload, possibly. But I think the only other thing we were going to do was maybe chat about some of the things that we're going to offer. So as well as obviously,
yes,
there's already apprenticeships you could do, but the offer of us doing it through NHS Project Futures is kind of, we have gone through a rigorous procurement process and we're making sure these align to everything else we're doing. But we also want to offer support to the apprentices and just kind of recap what that offer is.
And I think that's a really important point, because organisations can go to providers directly, but one of the things that we think is going to add most important value is being part of a wide network, part of the project community, for cohorts to be mixed with people from across the country, from across different parts, different organisations, and is that okay?
John's dog. I've muted him.
Okay, that's going in the bloopers reel. So there's something really much more important about not just individual learning, but about shared learning. It's about being part of a group of people from across different organisations, different parts of the country, with different experiences that can come together and not just learn, but share that learning with each other. You know, the session tomorrow is all about the ICSs and how we can connect up the NHS. And as a project profession, we have a really important role to be part of that, to connect up organisationally, to connect up project managers, to connect up data analysts, because actually only by connecting that together are we actually going to be able to work effectively as a system. So if I can encourage you to not just register through the expressions of interest, we have also a community of practice online, so the Knowledge Hub community, we have online learning modules, we also have we're hoping to offer as part of this an opportunity to come together and as a group to learn using Cube. So I don't know if you've all seen Cube this week. Eddie Obeng, who talked about it as part of the future of work and ways of collaborating. We've been using Cube for sort of 5 years to come together and work together. What we would like to do is bring the cohorts together in a space in Cube so that they have an opportunity to do action learning sets, to do reflective practice, to also meet with people in the NHS who can support the learning that they're getting through the apprenticeships, and also for coaching and mentoring. You know, it will be an environment that is there to support the learners in their practice in the NHS. So that's something we'll be offering as part of that that kind of group activity. We will do a session on that separately. Obviously, there isn't time now, but we will arrange that for the first cohorts that are registered for each of these programs.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jo. Does anyone have any last minute questions in the last minute? No. Okay. Well, as we said, all the exhibitors are on all the apprenticeship providers are on the exhibitors page. These slides are available. There's summary documents, an employer access document, an expression of interest link, or you can email and contact the NHS Project Futures or your regional leads. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all our providers for being here today and supporting the festival throughout the week, and for your pictures, and also thanks to Jenny and Lucy and her colleagues for supporting us as well, and Jenny for presenting. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And someone's asked for the code. I will put the code in the chat for those that are addicted to the festival game and getting highly competitive. Otherwise, thank you everyone for your time and have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Many thanks.
Thank you.